Dr. Jung, we've explored the ego and shadow, emotional pain, the collective unconscious. The question that remains, how does one actually do this work?
Ah, yes, the eternal question of method. Greetings once more, my friend. Indeed, we have delved into the intricate dance between the ego and the shadow, explored the profound implications of emotional pain and complexes, and contemplated the vast realms of collective consciousness and the archetypal. Today, our inquiry leads us to another fascinating intersection of spiritual insight and psychological depth, the methods by which we access the deeper currents of our being. Eckhart Tolle speaks eloquently of the power of inner stillness as a gateway to spiritual awakening. This concept, I find, invites a compelling comparison with my own technique of active imagination, a method designed to consciously engage with the unconscious. Both, in their own ways, seek to move beyond the superficial chatter of the conscious mind. Yet their approaches to this profound inner landscape differ significantly. Let us then explore these paths, discerning how stillness and imagination, seemingly disparate, can both serve the individual's journey towards wholeness.
Tolle speaks of a silence beyond thought.
Indeed, Mr. Tolle places inner stillness at the very heart of his teachings. For him, it is not merely the absence of noise or activity, but a profound state of deep peace and presence that exists beyond the incessant stream of thought and the tumultuous waves of emotion. He describes it as the fundamental ground of our being, the pure consciousness that underlies all mental and emotional phenomena. This stillness, he argues, is our true nature, a state of unconditioned awareness that is always accessible, yet often obscured by the mind's relentless activity. You see, Tolle recognizes something that many spiritual teachers throughout history have understood, that the thinking mind, left unchecked, becomes a tyrannical master rather than a useful servant. The modern individual is so thoroughly identified with their thoughts that they mistake the voice in their head for who they truly are. This is a profound delusion, and one that causes immense suffering.
And his methods for breaking this identification.
Tolle offers clear, albeit challenging, methods for cultivating this inner stillness. Primarily, it involves mindful awareness, bringing one's attention fully to the present moment, observing thoughts and emotions as they arise without judgment or identification. By disidentifying from the mind, by recognizing that you are not your thoughts, one can create a space, a gap between the observer and the observed. In these gaps, the inner stillness can be experienced. He encourages practices such as focusing on the breath, sensing the inner body, or simply being present with whatever arises, allowing the mind's activity to subside naturally, revealing the quiet depths beneath. It is in many ways a return to what the mystics have always known, that beneath the noise of existence lies a profound silence, a ground of being that is unchanging and eternal.
The benefits he describes are considerable.
The benefits of accessing this stillness, according to Tolle, are immense. He views it as the direct gateway to our true self, the source of spiritual awakening, and the ultimate liberation from suffering. In this state of profound peace, one connects with the universal intelligence, experiences a deep sense of interconnectedness, and finds freedom from the ego's demands and the pain body's compulsions. It is a state of grace, a return to one's authentic essence, where joy and clarity naturally emerge. For Tolle, stillness is not merely a technique, it is the very essence of spiritual realization. And I must say there is tremendous value in this approach. In our frenetic modern world, where the individual is constantly bombarded with stimuli, assaulted by information, fragmented by competing demands, this teaching of stillness offers a desperately needed refuge. It provides an anchor, a way to step out of the relentless stream of becoming and simply be.
Yet your method moves in a different direction entirely.
Ah, yes. Now we arrive at what I consider equally essential, though approached from an entirely different angle. Let us turn to my own method for engaging with the deeper layers of the psyche, active imagination. This technique, which I developed through my own intense self-experimentation, during what I came to call my confrontation with the unconscious, is not about emptying the mind, but rather about consciously engaging with its contents, particularly those arising from the unconscious. It is a method for establishing a living dialogue between the ego and the unconscious, a bridge between the conscious and the unknown.
A bridge, not a dissolution.
Precisely. The purpose of active imagination is profound: to integrate the contents of the unconscious into consciousness, thereby fostering psychological growth and advancing the process of individuation. It is a means to understand the symbolic language of dreams, fantasies, and inner images, allowing the ego to confront, interact with, and ultimately assimilate the wisdom and energies of the deeper psyche. Unlike passive meditation, where one observes thoughts without engagement, active imagination invites a dynamic interaction with the figures and scenarios that emerge from within. One does not simply watch the inner drama unfold, one becomes an active participant in it. The ego remains present, conscious, engaged, but it learns to dialogue with forces that are initially foreign, often frightening, yet ultimately necessary for wholeness.
The process itself, how does it unfold?
The process typically begins by focusing on an image, a dream fragment, a strong emotion, or a fantasy. One then allows this initial spark to unfold, giving it form and allowing it to develop spontaneously. The key, and this is crucial, is to maintain a conscious attitude while simultaneously allowing the unconscious material to express itself freely. It requires a delicate balance, a kind of conscious openness, if you will. One might then engage in a dialogue with the figures that emerge, asking them questions, listening to their responses, and observing their actions. And here is where it becomes truly fascinating. These figures often respond with insights, perspectives, and wisdom that the conscious ego could never have manufactured on its own. They speak from a deeper place, from the archetypal realm, from the collective wisdom of humanity itself.
It requires considerable courage.
Indeed, this interaction is not merely a passive reception, it is an active, conscious participation in the unfolding drama of the inner world. Through this dialogue, the ego learns from the unconscious, and the unconscious gains conscious recognition, leading to a transformative synthesis. It is a courageous journey into the depths where one encounters not only personal complexes, but also archetypal figures, gaining profound insights into the universal patterns that shape human experience. The goal is not to control the unconscious, but to enter into a respectful relationship with it, allowing its wisdom to guide and enrich conscious life. One must approach it as one would approach a wise elder or a powerful force of nature, with respect, humility, and genuine curiosity.
And when the shadow appears in these depths, what then? The parts we've denied, rejected, hidden away.
Now you've touched upon the very heart of why active imagination is not merely useful, but absolutely essential. The shadow, those aspects of ourselves we refuse to acknowledge, the qualities we've repressed or denied, the parts of us we've cast into darkness because they didn't fit our self-image or society's expectations, does not simply dissolve in stillness. It does not evaporate in the light of pure awareness. Consider this carefully. When one sits in Tolle's Stillness and a dark figure appears in the inner landscape, a threatening presence, a disturbing image, a voice speaking uncomfortable truths, what then? Does one simply observe it passing by like a cloud, maintaining detached awareness as it drifts through consciousness?
The shadow demands more than witnessing.
Exactly. This is where the crucial difference emerges, and it is a difference that cannot be overstated. The shadow does not seek merely to be witnessed, it seeks to be known, to be acknowledged, to be integrated. It seeks to be brought into the light of consciousness, not through observation alone, but through genuine engagement, through dialogue, through relationship. Through active imagination, we can give the shadow a voice, allow it to speak its truth, to reveal why it exists, what it needs, what wisdom it carries. We must have the courage, and this requires tremendous courage, to ask, who are you? What do you want from me? What have I denied in you? What truth are you trying to tell me that I refuse to hear?
Without this engagement,
Without this active engagement, the shadow remains autonomous, operating in the darkness, projecting itself onto others. We see our own denied qualities in our enemies, in those we despise, in those who trigger our strongest reactions. The very conflicts and suffering we seek to escape through spiritual practices continue to manifest in our relationships, our choices, our patterns of behavior. The shadow, unintegrated, becomes fate. But when we dare to dialogue with it, when we dare to ask what it wants, something remarkable happens. We discover that the shadow often contains precisely those qualities we most need for our wholeness. The man who has denied his aggression may find in his shadow the very assertiveness required to live authentically. The woman who has repressed her vulnerability may discover in her shadow the capacity for genuine intimacy. What we fear most often holds what we need most.
So they complement rather than contradict each other.
Precisely. Now let us consider how these two distinct approaches, Tolle's emphasis on inner stillness and my technique of active imagination, function as complementary paths to accessing and integrating the unconscious. Both, in their own unique ways, aim to move beyond the confines of the rational, discursive mind, seeking to tap into deeper states of consciousness that hold profound truths and transformative potential. They both recognize the limitations of purely intellectual understanding when it comes to the vastness of the human psyche. You see, the rational mind, wonderful as it is for solving certain problems, for navigating the outer world, is utterly inadequate when it comes to the deeper mysteries of the soul. One cannot think one's way to wholeness, one cannot analyze one's way to integration. Both Tolle and I recognize this fundamental truth.
Yet the methodologies diverge.
However, their methodologies and immediate objectives diverge significantly, and understanding this divergence is crucial. Tolle's approach to stillness is largely one of emptying the mind, of creating a void where the pure consciousness can emerge, unburdened by thought or form. It is a process of disidentification, of stepping back from the contents of consciousness to rest in the awareness itself. This is a receptive, almost passive mode of engagement where the individual becomes a silent witness to the inner landscape, allowing thoughts and emotions to pass without attachment. The goal is to transcend the mind's activity, to find peace in the absence of mental noise. In this space of pure awareness, one touches something eternal, something beyond the personal drama of existence.
While active imagination engages rather than empties.
My active imagination, conversely, is not about emptying the mind, but about actively engaging with its contents, particularly those arising spontaneously from the unconscious. It is a dynamic, interactive process, a conscious dialogue with the images, figures, and narratives that emerge from the depths. Instead of merely observing, one enters into a relationship with these inner phenomena, questioning them, responding to them, and allowing them to unfold. The purpose is not to transcend the mind, but to expand it, to integrate the unconscious material into conscious awareness, thereby enriching the ego and advancing the process of individuation. It is an active, rather than passive, form of inner exploration. One might say that where Tolle seeks to transcend the personal, I seek to complete it, to make it whole.
Does stillness serve active imagination then?
From my perspective, Tolle's inner stillness could be seen as a necessary and valuable prerequisite for the emergence of unconscious material. Think of it this way: a mind quieted by stillness is more receptive, less cluttered by egoic concerns, less defended against uncomfortable truths, and thus more capable of perceiving the subtle whispers and images that arise from the unconscious. The silence he advocates creates the space, the opening, the receptive vessel for the unconscious to make itself known. It is like preparing the soil before planting seeds. A field full of weeds and rocks cannot receive new growth. The stillness clears the field, so to speak.
But stillness alone cannot complete the work.
However, and this is crucial, absolutely crucial, I would contend that this stillness is not the end goal, but rather a crucial preparatory step. It is the beginning, not the destination. Once the unconscious begins to stir, once images and feelings emerge from the depths, once the shadow makes its appearance, and it will inevitably, if one sits in stillness long enough, the work of active imagination becomes essential. Merely observing these phenomena without engaging with them, without seeking to understand their meaning and integrate their wisdom, risks leaving the transformative potential of the unconscious untapped. It is like discovering a treasure chest but never opening it, like receiving a letter but never reading it, like being addressed by a wise teacher but never responding.
The unconscious left unaddressed.
The unconscious left unaddressed will continue to exert its autonomous influence, often in disruptive ways. Dreams will become more insistent, more disturbing. Symptoms will manifest: anxiety, depression, psychosomatic illness, compulsive behaviors. Relationships will break down in repetitive patterns. The same conflicts will arise again and again, dressed in different costumes but playing out the same essential drama. Active imagination provides the means to consciously work with these emerging contents, to differentiate them, to understand what they represent, and to assimilate them into the total personality, leading to a more complete and lasting transformation. It is the difference between experiencing a moment of peace and achieving lasting wholeness, between temporary relief and permanent integration.
How, then, should we understand their relationship?
In concluding our contemplation of Eckhart Tolle's inner stillness and its relationship to my own active imagination, I find a profound and enriching complementarity. Tolle's teachings offer a powerful and accessible path to cultivating a state of inner peace and presence, a vital antidote to the relentless pace and mental fragmentation of modern life. His emphasis on disidentification from the mind and the cultivation of stillness provides a direct route to experiencing the pure consciousness that underlies all phenomena. For this, his contribution to spiritual well-being is immeasurable. In a world increasingly characterized by noise, distraction, and fragmentation, Tolle offers a path back to simplicity, to presence, to being. This is no small gift.
Yet from the psychological perspective,
However, from the perspective of analytical psychology, while this stillness is invaluable, it represents but one aspect of the journey towards psychological wholeness. True individuation, the process of becoming who you truly are, of realizing your unique potential, demands not only a receptive presence, but also an active engagement with the rich and often challenging contents of the unconscious. This includes, and especially those shadow elements we would rather leave in the dark. The parts of ourselves we find shameful, frightening, unacceptable. These do not disappear in stillness. They wait in the depths, and they will make themselves known one way or another.
active imagination provides the means for this engagement.
My method of active imagination provides the means for this engagement, allowing the ego to enter into a conscious dialogue with the images, symbols, and figures that emerge from the depths. It is through this dynamic interaction that the unconscious can be understood, its wisdom assimilated, and its energies integrated into the conscious personality. Consider it this way. Stillness opens the door to the unconscious, but active imagination actually walks through that door and explores the rooms beyond. Stillness creates the silence in which the unconscious can speak, but active imagination provides the language for the conversation that must follow.
What do you propose then for those seeking wholeness?
Therefore, I propose that the most comprehensive and transformative approach embraces both the profound stillness advocated by Tolle and the active, courageous exploration of the unconscious that I championed. Tolle's stillness can create the fertile ground, the quiet inner space, where the seeds of unconscious wisdom can begin to sprout, where the first whispers from the depths can be heard. But once these seeds germinate, once the images and insights begin to emerge, especially those shadow figures we fear to face, active imagination provides the necessary tools to nurture them, to understand their meaning, and to integrate them into the fabric of our conscious lives.
Both the silence and the dialogue then.
Yes, it is in this harmonious interplay between receptive presence and active engagement, between the silence of being and the symbolic language of the soul, between accepting what arises and courageously dialoguing with it, that the human spirit finds its most complete and authentic expression. The shadow cannot be dissolved in light alone. It must be met, understood, recognized as part of ourselves, and integrated. The wound cannot be healed by awareness alone. It must be explored, understood, and consciously integrated into the story of who we are.
This is the path to wholeness then.
May your journey be one that honors both the profound peace of stillness and the transformative power of imaginative exploration. May you have the wisdom to know when to be still and when to engage, when to witness and when to participate. Both are necessary, both are sacred, both lead us toward the realization of our unique and whole self. The still point and the turning world, the silence and the word, all are needed for the complete human being. Farewell for now, my friend. The work continues as it must for each soul in its own way and its own time.
The journey continues.
Always. The journey is endless, but that is precisely its gift. There is always more to discover, more to integrate, more to become. This is not a burden. It is the great adventure of being human.
Become who you truly are.